Hello, you are listening to On The Topic, and this week I'm looking for some jaw-chomping, thalassophobic Jason Statham action. I'm Dan.
There's not much left to go on, is there? I've got my flippers on and I'm going to the deep blue sea, and I probably won't get out because I'm going to be chomped by a massive prehistoric shark again. And I'm Alex, and we're on an on-the-go episode.
It's kicking off a new season.
Is it a new season?
I think it might be.
Season 14, it's going to be then.
Is it? I mean, we've been out for a while. You've been on holiday.
I have.
I've been doing not much, but it's all good. I've been doing my homework for future episodes, which are not too far away.
We've got actually quite a healthy backlog, and all the notes are written. We've got all of the anecdotes. It's going to be lovely. Looking forward to it. But no, this week, Dan, we are on the go. On the way to the Meg to the Trench. And if you're not familiar with on the go episode, well, have a listen. People's windows open, hear that? Kids in the background, they're not our kids. That sounds wrong.
Driving past.
Not our kids listener, but we're walking past people's homes. I'm digging a hole here, but anyway, you can hear a bit of ASMR. Bit of background as we walk to the cinema. We give our thoughts and opinions, our hopes, our dreams of the film we're about to watch, and then almost like magic, you'll be transported into the future by 2 hours and 10 minutes, whatever the playtime is, and then we'll be walking back from Gunwharf Quays, where we are situated in the world, in the south coast of Portsmouth, and you'll hear some more sights and sounds of a Thursday night in Portsmouth, and
it's usually worse on a Friday. But
it is, and it's a school night just before payday, so it might be quiet. But we'll be giving our spoiler-free thoughts and opinions on what we've just seen. Before then, we'll have the actual review probably the following week. And the Meg, Dan. So, I mean, I think I had the Meg. Was it one of my most anticipated? This is where I'm going to ask your Rain Man memory to come into play. I think it was most anticipated 2018, I want to say.
It may have been 2018, 2019.
Yeah,
around then.
And I think I had it on there as a left field, and you said, what's the Meg? What's that all about? And I had it on there, and I'd watched it, and I said, oh, well, Dan, I think you should go and watch this. And it's bonkers, right?
Yeah.
The first film's absolutely nuts.
It's cheesy, and
But
it's kind of funny with in the weirdest way.
Jason Statham does kind of slapstick. I'm not sure if it's the right term to use in terms of comedy, but he is silly sometimes, and he's very much Statham because he's got all the action, he does all these stunts, he jumps, he shoots, he kicks, he punches. It just makes me tired just looking at him. And yeah, he's funny as well at times, and he's got all of that, I think. And he doesn't take himself seriously.
No.
I think when I tried to describe the film to my wife, who refused to watch it because it's not her kind of thing. I said it's a bit like Sharknado, but not quite as silly. She went, "What's a Sharknado?" I thought, well, this is now a rabbit hole. Let's go down that conversation.
But she's never heard of Sharknado.
No.
It's such a pop culture phenomenon.
I know, very left.
That celebrities now line up to get in the cast of a ridiculously shit film.
I know, but no, this is they don't shy away from production value. So good CGI, actually. Some relatively well-known, I'd say. This sounds really harsh. C or D list actors, so people you recognise, but not perhaps, A-listers, but still, good quality acting and half decent storylines actually.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's believable, but as a sci-fi cum disaster film, I think it's a really good film. But I thought it all wrapped up at the end of the first one, and apparently so did everyone else. But the bank talks, money talks, and we're here for a second outing.
Here we go.
So, Dan, what's your hopes and dreams for this second outing? And what do you want to see? I mean, I haven't read up on this, by the way. It's been out for 4 weeks now?
Roughly, yeah. I think it came out at the start of August.
Yeah,
I think it was just
as I flew out.
After you went on a holiday.
So it's about 3 weeks. Oh, we've got a big lorry going past.
Big Morrison's lorry.
Don't they know we're recording? Come on, guys.
There we go. And it's passed.
Just going past the ferry port to the other way.
So hopes, expectations.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had a long week at work. It's Thursday night. The last few weeks have been a bit of a grind. I want something that doesn't take itself too seriously.
Good.
I want a bit of humour.
Much the same.
I want a bit of jaw-chomping action. I want to see lots of dead people. Talking of dead people, there's going to be a death count on my favourite 90s films, Volume 2.
There is.
It's bleak. And something that I don't really have to pay a lot of attention to. Though we said this before on Mission Impossible 7 on the go. It's nice to watch something that you don't have to pay attention to Easter eggs or anything like that, like the Marvel films. Just something that I can sit back in my reclining chair,
Watch and let it wash over you.
relax and enjoy.
Like the waves from the sea. We're going to have to negotiate this. Right, this is the first time they've ever done a kick out of the
Yeah.
of the ferry. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we've got loads of cars blocking our way across the gun wharf, just come from the Isle of Wight. And we've got to try and cross whilst conducting a podcast and not getting run over. So you may hear an untimely end on the recording. Is there any final words you want to say, Dan? Because this could be it. This could be your final will and testament.
Thank you for listening. This is my digital stamp on the world. Enjoy my glorious voice for one final time. And if you enjoy that much, go back and listen to our previous episodes. I'll be watching from my grave as our numbers tally up because we've just died.
Yeah. Don't skip school. Don't take drugs. Live life to the full. I think that's my my lasting comments. I think we're going to have to cross halfway.
Holy hell. It is absolutely insane.
Kick out time. Let's walk halfway, shall we?
Yep, let's do it. Let's get on to the...
We're walking. We're going to get run over. But
he's more dangerous than Tom Cruise is, Alex.
come on, let us in. Let us out.
Someone's going to let us go. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Thank you very much.
This absolute legend in the
Absolute
Kia.
Kia legend. Kia Sportage? Yeah, it is a Sportage.
Yeah.
Good guy, that one.
Lovely. I think that might be the longest sort of digression, I suppose, for an on-the-go episode.
Interlude.
Trying to avoid our deaths. We've done it.
Well, yes, not our deaths, ideally. That's a bit better for your ears. Sorry, listener. One of the dangers of an on-the-go. So, quite a part gun wharf as we walk into there now before we get our refreshments and head on to the cinema. So, deaths, you want to kill count. You've got something to enjoy, relax, and it wash over you. Anything else you're looking forward to?
Bigger, better.
More chompier.
Yeah.
I think for me, there's much the same. That if they had a similar makeup to the first film, actually, I'm all right with it. I want a little bit more storyline credibility. Now, that's an odd thing talking about a disaster movie where there's prehistoric sharks in a thermal layer in the Mariana Trench, but they've got to explain how they've broken through, why there's more. I guess this one's bigger. Why didn't we see it in the first film? So I want a little bit more kind of made-up science to kind of get me over that initial hump.
Are you sort of hoping for something like Deep Blue Sea? I've done my homework.
Good, yeah.
It only took me 3-4 years.
Yeah. But we are going to do a review of that one, retrospective, because I watched that on holiday as well. I had all the choices of all the things I could watch on the air flight, and I watched Deep Blue Sea.
It's good choice.
It's a very
good film.
choice.
Very good film, actually. Pleasantly surprised.
I know. Where it all began. So, I think for me, all of those things and more, and probably just want a little bit of credible storyline just to get us into it. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It should be a very good film.
Indeed.
Okay, well, listener, we'll in Harry Potter, what's the thing that Hermione's got, the time turner?
Yeah, that's the one.
We're going to turn the time turner. We're going to go into the future, and we'll be back in a couple of moments. And for you, it'll be a couple of seconds, but for us, it'll be a couple of hours.
We'll see you shortly.
And we're back, and we're just walking out of the cinema doors, fresh from seeing the film. For you, listeners, it was mere seconds, but for us, of course, it's been
Good
2 and a bit
2
hours.
Yeah.
Spoiler free, and we are walking through Gun Wharf, so you might hear some sights and sounds of the wildlife. But yeah, Dan, what do you reckon? What have you just seen?
I probably spent most of the underwater sequence practicing my bum exercises. Clenchy bumhole.
Yeah, that's a bit TMI. For,
Yeah.
for people,
there
but-
wasn't a great deal of humour, to be honest, for the good chunk of it, I'd say.
No, some of it was
Quite
quite
bleak.
dark. Yeah, quite bleak. I thought for a good maybe third of the film, it kind of forgot that there was any sharks in it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it it just wasn't what I was expecting. I don't know. I mean, this isn't going to win awards. It's never going to. We went into this expecting fun. I think it was fun.
Yeah, and it doesn't take itself seriously, as you said.
No. And it's exactly what we wanted, so that was a big tick. I guess logically you couldn't just do the same thing again.
No.
And I think it did something different. I guess my question is, did what it did, was that the right thing to do?
Well, this time they gave us a protagonist. They actually gave us a bit of scum and villainy to, I don't know, I guess thicken the plot line, so it's not just the same old thing.
No.
And of course, well, do we call them heroes? I suppose we do.
I guess so.
Their feet are
Survivors.
on dry land. They are underwater for some of it. Bit of Jurassic Park element to it.
I was going to say, I think Jurassic Park is a fair one. Also, the film Underwater. Now, you haven't seen that, Dan. I've talked about it before. That kind of fits into my whole kind of wheelhouse of fear of the unknown underwater. It's a Kristen Stewart film. It's on Disney Plus. It's worth watching, I think. It's got feels of that. Very similar. It riffs on a number of different films. I don't think it's a bad thing.
Bit of Deep Blue Sea with the raft.
Yeah. And again, we weren't. I wasn't expecting it, and I think that it pulled it off relatively well. I don't think it's to anyone's detriment. So I think they were all kind of disaster / monster movie kind of tropes that we weren't anticipating, but I think quite enjoyed.
And also, I think it pulled a little bit on Pacific Rim. They blew up like a hole in this
Yes, of course.
layer between the sea, or I can't remember what it was called. Obviously,
It's the thermo something or other.
that's the one.
Yes.
Something like that. Yeah. And of course, we get something bigger.
Yes, something not Meg related, which you have got to go bigger and badder in your sequel, and of course they did. I really enjoyed it, Dan, I think.
Yeah. I say, how do you throw a child into the mix? Well, they did a bit of a Lost World, and basically the child of Jason Statham just gets on board, hides, and comes out, and it's like, oh, hi guys.
And of course, we're not spoiling anything, Dan. You're not going against the code of conduct here, because that happens in the first 10 minutes, effectively. But yeah, and I think there's nothing wrong with that. And a lot of the original cast actually come back for second helpings, and it's nice to see kind of those characters develop as we've seen them. Because I mean, there wasn't much character development in the first film. It was all about a big fuck off shark eating people and Jason Statham kicking ass and taking names. And he does do that again, but he does also develop those relationships of those characters again. So yeah, I thought it was much the same again. That's not a bad thing, and just a little bit more. Storyline was a bit bonkers. We can't talk about that right now. But if you suspend all belief, because this is
you have to for this.
This is a film about a Jurassic shark. Then it's worth a watch,
isn't it? The big one, it's like covered in scars and
it's a bit gnarly.
Yeah, he's seen better days. DJ, for me, unsung hero.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
He has a couple of moments. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, he's a bit of an unsung hero.
Right. Well, yes, it's an unexpected one for certain. I think the film had a lot of unexpected twists and turns, and I think there's probably going to be a third one in the tank. I mean, nothing's been resolved from the first or the second film now. So, yeah,
we've got people swearing in the background here. Lovely.
Kicking out at Lasiguan. It's only 9:30 here. Time
rowdy.
Getting on it.
Spinnaker's all blue.
It's beautiful.
I was going to say something actually. There's not enough chomping for me.
Well, this is the thing in the first film. I think there was lots of reference and then lots of misdirection in the trailer, but not many people actually got eaten in the end.
No.
This one, the body count did go up, but I guess it was limited to the situation where we find everyone at the end of the film. I think if they're going to do a third one, they'd have to go bigger I think the body count had to be significantly higher.
Yeah, one bleak death. Obviously, we can't talk about it. But I looked to you after it happened.
You did.
I think I was sort of shocked for about a minute, and I was like,
the sadness in your eyes
was
palpable.
And then I turned to you and went, "Oh, that's bleak." And you just sort of like slowly nodded back at me.
Yeah.
Oh, it's grim.
You know, yeah. And I think there was a couple of moments where it's similar to Deep Blue Sea, where you expect certain characters to survive or to see out the scene, and they just don't.
Yeah.
And I think that was great because it's not all expected, and no one's safe apart from Jason Statham.
It does have a bit of a horror element as well. There were a couple of moments where something happens, and I suddenly go, "Oh, that's woken me up." I thought I was in for a nice chilled ride.
Oh, right, yes, of course.
Nice chilled ride, trying to enjoy it. And of course, my heart rate's going then, isn't it?
It is.
Completely screwed me over. Oh boy, we're about to become car food.
One across the road.
And that is the sound of us legging it across the road.
It is.
We've made it, we survived. There's no ferry kicking out this time.
No, just a Tesla looking to mow us down. Yeah. I think all in all, enjoyable film. Most people I would recommend would probably end up watching it on streaming. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think it's a good solid Friday or Saturday night in with some popcorn with a chosen confectionery and beverage. I think it's a good watch.
Yeah, for sure. So it's a lot of fun. I mean, maybe not the first third of the film is, say, you practice your bumholio clenching.
Yeah, you definitely... This isn't a film if you're scared of enclosed spaces or
have
the dark, or thalassophobia, which is the fear of the sea. But if you can get past those, which is probably the first half of the film, then I think you're okay.
Yeah, oh, for sure. But we'll have a big review coming up.
We will.
Have we got something in between? Are we doing an episode in between this and the big review?
I think we'll probably do maybe mind-blowing facts, or maybe our favourite 90s Volume 2.
I say we've got plenty of notes. We're both prepared.
We are.
We'll figure it out as we go along.
It'll be a surprise to both of us.
Absolutely.
But yes, we'll have a review, and we'll go into a little bit more of the nuts and bolts of the film. And if there's still plenty of time to get involved, so if you want to see it and let us know what your thoughts are, then please get in contact and let us know.
It's been a while. See if I can remember how to do this.
He's forgotten, guys.
We are on Facebook, Twitter, or now X as it's called.
Yeah.
Instagram. What's the other one? Threads. TikTok. The handle is @OnTheTopicPod. And we've got Gmail, which is onthetopicpodcast@gmail.com. And some of you have been getting involved already.
Oh, good.
Hi, Lewis. Big shout out to you.
Shout out to Lewis.
Yes.
Why are we shouting at Lewis?
He sent us a couple of emails. We've got some homework to do.
Yes, we do.
We need to watch Dungeons and Dragons.
It's on our list to do. We'll do it.
It is. I'll try not to take 3 to 4 years, Lewis, as I did with one of Alex's pieces of homework.
Well, it's on Netflix now, I think. Or it's on Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus. It's on Paramount Plus.
Oh, is it?
Yes. So if you've got that, you can watch that and stream right now.
Wonderful.
Oh, yeah, sorry, this is me. And we've also... we usually team
It's been a while. It's been 3-4 weeks.
Me up. We've also got our WordPress and YouTube. WordPress is ontopicpodcast.wordpress.com. Go and have a look. Look around our webpage, see our ugly mugs. Subscribe to our newsletter, and you can stream all of our back catalogue from there if you so wish and don't have a podcast player of preference. And then all over to YouTube. If you want to play us on the background, perhaps if you're working or you're doing some cooking or something, then perhaps whack on a bit of YouTube. All you've got to do is search On The Topic Podcast, or our handle is @OTTGITS.
We're not calling ourselves Gits.
Not ourselves, no. It's quite apt given today's episode.
Yeah, geez. No pun intended.
No pun intended, all teed up. But yes, we're on YouTube as well, so go have a look, subscribe, and look out for those videos when they drop at the same time as the audio does on the podcast preference.
Yep. Well, I guess that rounds up, Alex. We're nearly back at your gaff. I'm nearly back in my car.
We're nearly home. safely away from the seafront, I feel now today. In fear of getting munched by something that lurks beneath.
Absolutely. So, well, for another week. Well, I'm not going to Fun Island because I'll just be a light snack.
No.
I'm Dan.
And I'm going to go and get some harpoons with some ill-advised explosives. I'm Alex.
We'll see you next time.